back to DIY Net. Got an unboxing for you. Got a project I'm working on, and I bought some lumber from the sawmill. Apparently it was not kiln dried, or wasn't dried enough. So I've got some sap pockets that are kind of oozing, and from what I understand, the theory at least is that if you heat the sap up enough, it will crystallize and it will no longer ooze, and then you can seal it up with some shellac or whatever. I didn't have a heat gun, so I picked this up. So let's open this up and take a look at it. Now, this is a Wagner Model 750. I have had somewhat sketchy history with Wagner. I bought a couple of their kind of DIY level paint sprayers, and they weren't terrible, but they weren't great either. And one of them crapped out after I used it for a few hours. So I'm not 100% sold on Wagner. However, I couldn't find anything else at a reasonable price, so I'm going to take a chance on this and see how we make out. So let's get this out of here. This particular model was $70, and it came with a case, and supposedly this puts out a maximum of 1500 watts, which is 5100 BTUs, and the temperature ranges from 125 degrees to 1300. Now, let's open this up here. I've got two latches, and everything falls out of the box. So I'm not sure how that was in there, but here's the item. This is corded. It's not a cordless. I looked at the Milwaukee cordless one, and it was like $150, which I didn't mind spending. However, it only put out, I think it only put out like 1200 BTU. So that's not a lot. So I figured we might just as well go for it and get something a little bit heavier. So here's the cord, and that's the end that plugs into the heat gun itself. And there's some extra nozzles here, which are actually nicely attached to the case. They have a little nub down here that this goes onto, so this is kind of spread it out a little bit, and you can scrape with it as you go. This spreads the heat a little bit rather than having it in one spot. And this is nice because if you have to heat up something like a solder joint on a piece of wire or something like that, you can put that on there, and it will contain the heat in that little area there. And this one concentrates the heat a little bit more if you just want to hit a particular spot. And these just go on, they just slide over the end here. Let's see. Yeah, there's a, oops, a little tight. Is there a slot on it? No, I think they just, let's try a different one. There we go. That one's a little stiff, so they just slide on over there. There's just a friction fit, and then it comes off. This particular one seems a little stiff. Might have to use a little more force to get that on, but that's okay. They also gave you a paint scraper, which is nice. This is actually a painter's 5-in-1 tool. That's if you have a paint roller and you need to clean it, you can run this along down the roller, and that will scrape the excess paint off it, so it's easier to clean. So that's actually a painter's 5-in-1 tool, but that's nice that they gave you that. The handle feels fairly comfortable, so that's good. So this, let's unwrap this. Take that off of here. Unwrap that. And it just plugs into the bottom there. So let's see if there's a trick to it. Yeah, slightly. There's a little nub on there, and there's a little slot on there, so they have to line up. I guess that's to keep the polarity correct. And now that snaps in there. That's good. It doesn't just go in, so that's got a good positive hold on it. And it is a 2 prongs, so that makes life a little bit easier. And let me plug this in, and let's see what the controls look like. The cord's nice. It's good heavy duty insulation on there, and it's the proper kind. if you see insulation on a tool and it's got ridges along the thing there, you're looking at a crappy tool. This has got the smooth stuff on it, and that indicates this is a better quality stuff. And I assume this is somewhat heat resistant because you're going to, you know, direct the gun against it accidentally at times. So I'm assuming that's a pretty good cord on there. There's some writing on it, but I can't really read it. But as I said, I'm guessing that is reasonable heat resistance. There's an LCD screen here. I guess it's LCD. And there's an on-off, so that puts it on. And it's already blowing, so let's see if we can... The fan is adjustable, and I think they said there were 6 fan settings, so it helps to control how much air is coming out of it. And then there's buttons down here to, let's try this. It's going down by 10-degree units, so you can press minus or plus and that'll get you to where you want to go. And then up. There's not much to it. There's no trigger or anything. It just kind of comes on when you push it on. And I think it says cool on it right now because I hit the off button. I think it's going to run for a few minutes until the internal mechanism is cool on it, and then shut off. But I'm not sure. So yes, I emasculated myself and I started reading the instructions, because as we know, real men don't read instructions. And that cool on there means this is cooling itself off, so it's going to blow cold air through there until the element cools off. And this way, you don't have to worry about putting it back in the case because it won't shut off until that process is done. So this will keep running cool for a while, and then it'll be safe to store it. And obviously, anytime you're using it, you have to be very careful because this is all going to be very hot. Right, so while that's cooling off, let's look at the case a little bit better. The case has a living hinge. It doesn't have an actual separate hinge on it, so eventually that'll start to crack, but hopefully I'm not going to use this very often, so that may hold up for a pretty long time. The closures, the hasps, their locks on it seem to be fairly decently made, and as I said, all the accessories seem to be made fairly well, and there is a place to install them on so they don't flop around inside the case. So I'd say that if you put them back on correctly, they don't flop around the case. So I would say basically that appears to be pretty good. Just looking at something here. There we go, it finally shut off. So it takes a few minutes to, just curious if that, alright, there's a funky recess on here and I don't know what it's for. It might be, maybe they use this case for multiple things, I don't know. It looked for a minute, maybe the gun could sit there while you were waiting for it to cool off. Maybe it sits, yeah, it kind of does. I guess that's what it was intended for, just to, you put it on there while the cooling process runs. So I guess that's what that little recess is there for. Anyway, there's not a heck of a lot to it, and I'm going to try that process of getting rid of the sap, because I haven't actually tried it yet, and we'll see how we make out. So I'll get back to you on that. So as always, thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing, and please take care of yourself. Bye-bye.